love to I love to learn more languages, and yeah, that's all. How about you, Charles? Could you introduce yourself,
Oh,
please?
thank you. Thank you for asking, man. Good to see you. My name is Charles Lopes, 42 years old, married, 2 daughters until now. I'm agricultural engineer. I was born in Brasilia, but I live I live in Santarém City, Nova Brazil, Pará State, Amazon Forest. And that's it, and I love to be here. And Atams, your out for me, it's a little low, all right?
What about now? What about now, Charles? Better? Thank you. So, and you, Mateus? Present yourself,
Hi
please.
guys, good morning. My name is Mateus. I'm living in Rio de Janeiro. I'm a developer and it's about 1 month. I'm here and talking. I'm glad to hear. That's it.
Okay, so let's start. First question is the number 2, how we can deal with harassment, any type. William, can you?
I think this kind of harassment that you saw in the video is kind of cultural. I think the men they think that has the necessity to always chasing girls and show that you are like you like them, and you have to in some kind always try to reach them, and I think this has to be taught from home. The parents, they have to explain the children's this kind of thing. It's not good. Okay, you had some respect for women, and not just for women. I just pointed out about the video, but in any aspect, it's very important. Respect the others, and if don't do what you not would like to receive from other people. That's what I think. You have to deal with this, and when you face it, I think that you just have to ignore. I know it's sometimes difficult, but I think the best way to deal with this is just ignore. And what about you, Nondas?
Just say something. I skipped
okay.
the first one.
No
and so
problem
you can but I think you kind of answered because it defines. And guys, you can answer the first and the second one time. Okay, so Nondas.
Okay, so for me, I can define that as I don't importunation. I don't know if there's this word in English, but importunation, and someone are teasing you, and so yeah, that's it. As we watched in the video. And for the next question, the second question, it's very hard because normally it happens everywhere, and it's not about women, but everybody in the job, at the school, on the street, and inside your house. It's very hard to deal with that. But William brought a good point about to teach kids about this kind of thing, because it's important to teach kids. It's important to teach child to be respectful with everybody. But when we are talking about adults, it's very hard. and normally when someone asks for help, it's ignored. It's very hard. I don't know, but violence is a option or not. Just kidding. But I don't know. I don't know. It's very hard to deal with. And you, Charles, what do you think?
Oh, for the first question, I guess every act there bother someone. In the point of this person feel uncomfortable, I think it's harassment. And for the second question, I guess it's difficult, but for me, or in my mind, it's only an answer. Education. Education. I guess our civilization need to evolve. I don't know this word, and I will not try to make a composition. But I guess we need to discuss more, talk more about, show this kind of video because right now, watching this video, I feel bad because I never saw things like that, and I never imagined it. There one woman lived things like that. So I think that's it. Education, and we need to open this box and try to talk more and show this kind of things. I think that's it for me, but it's too hard. I guess, Mateus, can you?
Yes. In my point of view, what defines harassment is when you make feel other person so uncomfortable with with herself, and 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 appear red flag say we need to run. And for the second questions, I agree with almost you guys. We need to education more, um, more our kids constantly, and not judge when a person says when a harassment. Sorry, I lost my line of phrases. It's for we continue. I lost my listeners.
No problem. It is not a easy topic, but I understand what Charles said. Like, I didn't know the woman passed through this every day. Yeah, it is every day. Since I remember, like when I was like 7 years old, like I was a child, like a kid, and that happened, and I always answered. And one, like for a period of the time of my life, I ignored, and they don't stop if you ignore. They stop if you face it, like. And I think here in England it's less, but still, like, it is less because the culture is different. People don't harass other people, other women, not that much. It's different. It's more like looks, and I think it's not that bad like in Brazil. In Brazil, much worse. But if they know that you are Brazilian, forget about all education, politeness, everything, because they think you are always like easy, but women, like easygoing person, you like it, this kind of things, and that is complicated, but it is every day. How I deal, I answer always. And what defines for me is lack of respect. Like you are invading other person's space without that his or her permission. So consentment, it is important. Number 3, have you ever been harassed? If yes, how did you feel? If not, what would be your reaction? It can be any type of harassment, moral, psychological, sexual, any type. Like at school, at work, any type, because like facing discrimination, like being harassed for any reason. Okay, Mateus, have you ever? Number 3.
Yes, I have been harassed 2 times. In my work, my last work, some kind of this. And I feel so bad because my boss says if I don't do a kind of job, I will lose my salary this month. I I start to make me feel so bad because I think here I would I would rather so good in this company and this make me feel so, oh my god, no, why I can do something wrong. And the second time is more moral. Some people pass through off the street and say some words that affect me, and I think this two types of harassment is the worst because I'm not another person to answer immediately because I don't have to courage to do that. So that's it.
It's not about to be brave. I think that what the situation you are describing is not about to be brave. There are some types of some situations we are just can't react because it's so bad. You can't react, like you are paralyzed. Your reaction, and then like after some, just later you will think about it. So it's not your why you didn't face it. It's not your fault if you couldn't face. It's not about being brave. It's not about being courageous. It is about it. It hurts so much that you can have a reaction. So I understand you. I had been in situations like that many times at work as well. Nondas, what about you?
I don't think so. I was trying to remember some case, but I don't think so.
Sorry, bullying is harassment as well. Okay, it's like psychological.
Yeah,
harassment.
and so I don't know how can I explain that. I had some case of bullying, maybe, and especially at the school, I was thin, very thin, and so it was a little unpleasant for me. Some jokes and things like that, as happened, and I think every school, unfortunately, and school is not a good place to. So yeah, but normally when you are a teenager, special, and in my case, you try to, I don't know, but devolver, and entrar na brincadeira to handle better with that, because if don't, you are lost it. So yeah, for me, that's the situation.
Yeah, it's interesting what you said about school, because at school, in the schools, you have two groups: the group who make the bullying and the group suffer the bullying. If you're not suffering bullying, you are making, or you are the no, yeah, just or you are too nice and to like, and but you are walking with the bullers. I don't know if it's right. And yeah, and to protect yourself, you start to make bullying.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly,
horrible.
exactly.
It's horrible. I did this as well. Like I want to be nice, and I would, because I was fed up of bullying, and I started to be a buller. Like not for a longer period of the time, but sometimes like to, and I can't blame myself or anyone who does this, but that's life. William, what about you?
Fortunately, I didn't pass for any kind of moral or sexual harassment. About psychological is, yeah, I think everyone here suffered in some way at school. And yeah, I grew up in a time, I'm speaking like an old man now, but yeah, I grew up in a time that the word bullying not exist, right? And yeah, it's kind of, I crossed through the two parts that Atam said about the group that make bullying or some kind of receive the bullying, right? Suffer the bullying. And I always try to deal with this and making joke of myself, and getting into try to play with myself and accept the bullying, let's say, accept in a good way, and make jokes about it. And yeah, and unfortunately, as Tam said, as in some parts, it was just angry because of some bullying there. Yeah, I started to commit some kind of bullying as well. So yeah, I think everyone passed through this kind of situation. So yeah.
Yeah, and another thing you said, like, are you accepting the jokes, the you playing with you? We are not really doing that, like, but you apparently
it's kind of a defense. Yeah, no,
you're defending yourself.
Yeah.
And
of course, I don't like it. I didn't like it. Yeah, of course, it's impossible to like it.
If you show you are not liking, it gets
worse.
It's
worse. Yeah, definitely. Yes.
Jesus, schools. Horrible place.
Yeah.
Shines, what about you?
Oh, at first, yes, I guess it's happened with me on my work, and was not good. I am a servant public, and here this kind of thing happens all the time. But in this last case was very bad. My new boss tried to encurralar. I don't know how I can say this, but and I have a strong personality, and I don't accept this. And it's answer my question. My reaction is I was very brave, and but I suffered some consequences, like cut some benefits and things like that, and I until suffered the consequence because I face my boss. But it's okay for me because I think I give a right answer, and maybe avoid other person to suffer the same. It's a very bad, but it's happening all the time. And sexual harassment, I suffer too, but I think for us men, it's more funny than uncomfortable. When I was on the hospital, one older nurse talk some things about my ass, and okay, for me it's very funny. Only this, it's but
Yeah.
I don't think we don't need to encourage the people to do this, because the other hand, a woman to do this, and I'm not think it's right. But
Yeah,
I do it for my wife, and we laugh a lot, and it's okay.
it is funny. I understand what
Yes.
you say. It is funny. I think it's funny as well. But because you, as a man in the society, you are in a safe position. Like, she said some things, but you don't feel threatened. Like, she's not threatening your life, or you think, yeah, she's just joking, or she's not doing something, because she is a woman. And about the being a public servant, I was for 6 years. And you know how it is. Sometimes the boss, they like, the government changes, and you change the boss, a new boss, and they think they knew everything. They can treat you as a shit. Sorry for my language, but yeah, and it happened with me in 2017, and she did things like, one day I arrived at work, and my papers, all documents I was working on, disappeared. Other day, I was sitting on my chair, and my chair was a broken chair. Things like that, it like started happening, and I said, I'm getting crazy. Because she was doing everything, some bullying, some kind of bullying, and moral, and I got sick, mentally sick,
Yes,
because
let me complement something. I'm a public servant, and for me, my position is stable. So, and my boss, it's not stable because one politician put him here.
yeah, I know, it's the same thing with me. It
The,
was the same
the,
thing.
the most part of my co-works is not servant public, it's contract. And for they, it's not good, and like for me. But this event make me ask for a break, for 2 years. I will ask for break the public service for 2 years because this. Because I don't feel more comfortable in my
Yeah,
environmental work.
in my case, I was stable as well, because I did a exam to be there. I passed, I was there. So a public servant, I was stable. No, she couldn't fire me. She couldn't do that. But how you gonna work? how you go to work every day with someone, like what happened, and it's not just salary in the end of the month is threatened. It's your mental health. So like you said, you would ask for a break. I did ask for a break because I was sick, mentally sick. And anyway, it is complicated. Moral harassment is the worst, maybe. I don't know if it's the worst, but it's a really bad one because it's hard to prove. It's hard to face. Anyway, number 4. What are the effects of harassment? William.
I think the most common is depression, anxiety, right? As I said, I try to deal with this in my childhood, try to make fun of myself, but sometimes, yeah, I was just so fed up of suffer some kind of bullying that I just didn't want to go to school, for example. So and that's terrible. That's terrible. So yeah, I think the most common, and it's very very hard to deal with it, is anxiety and depression. What about you, Mateus?
Yeah, I agree with you. And one more effect of harassment is invul- vulnerable. Vulnerable. Acho que that's say. And the people don't know what to do for the next few minutes because it happens so fast, and you just process and what I to do now. Who can who can I say that? Who can believe me? So I think it's more than anxiety and depression is vulnerability, and that's it. What about you, Nondas?
It's hard. Normally, mental disease, and you don't feel comfortable in your place is the worst thing, because normally you are comfortable and one day you are not comfortable anymore. So it's hard. It's hard to deal with that, and normally it causes trauma in the person. So for me, for example, I I could handle with this better when I become uh, older, but it affected me a lot in the past. It affected me a lot in my when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, especially teenager, because you are more uh, you have more insecurities about yourself. So now, for example, my job, I choose my job because of that. And I started to go to the gym and things like that. And I fall in love about the gym, and I become personal training. But it start because of the bullying in my past. So fortunately, I could handle with this, but sometimes with a lot of people, the people have a lot of problems, and especially depressed, and become more, I don't know, but isolado, and don't make friends, and it's hard. It's very hard.
Yeah. It's interesting that what you said about trauma, because today I was looking old photos of me, and I suffered bullying inside my family about my nose, but my nose is so beautiful. This the perfect nose. But I had a lot of nicknames like Fornalha, because I don't think my nose is big. Do you think my nose is so big like that? I think so. And my biggest dream was plastic surgery. So I'm glad I didn't do it. Because now, and just today, I was thinking today, I was like, why, how can someone talk about my nose like something's in the middle of your face, you know, like you can't just take it, we can change it. It's not like my hair, I can change it is there, you know, it is me, and it's not just my body, it's me. And yeah, I carried this trauma for many years on, but now I'm perfect. And I'm glad I didn't want to smile, for example, because my nose does that, you know, like you people, you're not allowed to smile, like you are thinking of it all the time about, I can't smile because my nose is so big, so large, and blah blah blah. So that's horrible. Never talk about the other people's body. That's a thing you have to learn, because you can't change your body. We have this impression we can like shape our body the way you want. There are limits for this. We can go to the gym, you can shape it like with muscles, but you can't change like the shape of your eyes. You can do plastic surgeries, but you know what I mean? Like you can change like this, anything. It's not like cut your hair or do a makeup or some change your outfits and things. So don't talk about the other
And
body.
it's hard, because if you do, the people will joke at the same time, and
The same way, yeah.
doesn't matter. So the people will joke you anywhere.
I think maybe
Or they're
go ahead.
or they search for other parts of your body with you body shaming.
Yeah, if you don't do it, if you do it, it never ends. It never ends, because all the time is the standard changes, the things people like change. So we can't. We just should not say anything about the other people's body. Charles, and you, number 4.
Why I will use the Williams word. Let me try. Shy it. Please help me.
Anxiety.
Yes. This, I think I feel this too much. And I will bring another word, impotence, I guess, because we cannot do nothing, because this guy is very strong, and they make a strong hedge. I forgot now. And I only can see, and I cannot do nothing. All right, I cannot face this problem. I talk about my currently problem. All right, I guess that's it.
This feeling of impotence is horrible, because like in a work environment, you talk to your with your colleagues, maybe you talk to your family, but nobody really knows what is going on with you. Like, oh, they think, just forget about it. It's just a thing, and you know what you're feeling. I know what I felt when I arrived at work and my thing wasn't there, and sometimes I found documents in the bin, the garbage, you know, like things were horrible, and they were blaming me for being irresponsible. I'm very responsible person with work, very. We can't say that. So it is like your mind's like grinding, like, and you nobody understands. So that anxiety you can't explain. We need of course help, like professional help, but it is a process. Would be better if nobody harass anyone.
All right. One more question. I think for us overcome this problem, we can try to do fun things for you. Like an example, make TNT for me. It's escape valve. Learn other language and try make a gene. Please. Thank you for your job, Nondas, because I start to make gene. I don't like to do this, but I start I studied more English, studied more a little French, and try to use my mind. I don't know, fill my mind with this thing, because sometimes it's not too easy. Support. Aguentar isso. I don't know. It's not support.
It is bear, like bear. Yes. It's the same word, bear.
I will not alone too much.
Yeah. That's it. So, but sometimes it's unbearable. Sometimes you are so stressed, so anxious that you can't move. But of course, I really, I started to do Muay Thai because I want to punch my boss. And I punched I don't know the name in English, but the bag. And I imagine her face. It really helped me. Every day I went to Muay Thai for 2 years, every day. So my body like it as well. But for my mind, it was the best thing I could do. So it really helped me. And the psychiatrist, psychologist, friends, singing, everything like together. But going to work every day and know that woman would be there was the worst thing in the last years in my life. So yeah. Let's see another. Number 7 is more about sexual harassment, or more about this. When a compliment can turn into harassment, is everything harassment nowadays? Why or why not? Because this question, it was shaped because I heard many people, in the past we could compliment a woman and it wasn't harassment, and now everything is harassment and blah blah blah. What do you think about it? Nondas, tell me.
I will answer the second question first, because I don't think that everything is harassment nowadays. And I think that especially the men don't want to lose your privilege. So I don't know, William said before that in our time, I don't know, but in the past, this kind of thing is not important. The people didn't talk about this. So now we are talking more. So we have more education, and we are discussing about that. So we know that it's not good. And then, in my point of view, of course, in special men don't want to lose this privilege. So we know when is harassment and it's not. It's clear, and because of the tone of the voice and the body language, and sometimes the person don't have I don't know, intimidade with you, and you know when is na maldade. So yeah, I don't think that everything is harassment nowadays. I think we still have a lot of harassment nowadays, and some people don't want to lose this privilege to do that without punishment.
Yeah. What I think about, I think quite the same you, but I can add something else. Like it's not just men they don't want to lose their privilege, but we women, we have more space to complain, to say we don't like it, you know. And before we didn't have that. So yeah, I think it's like this. Now I do something that a woman didn't like in the past and don't like now, but now they say they don't like it. So it's quite about this. And I complain because I used to do this in the past, and they like it, because like being quiet, being silent, it was like a consentment, yeah. So yeah, I think it's like this. William, what do you think?
I think depends the context, of course, the environment you making this compliment. So I think the correct answers you should be, and if I know the people at first, right? I don't think any compliment on streets, for example, I don't see the point to make some jokes or some kind of compliment, expect that the other people you receive this well. And I think is no, it is no. So when you see the other people didn't like it, the kind of compliment or little joke that you made, it's time. It's the point that you should change your strategy, let's say. So as Nondas and you said, I don't think everything is harassment, right? And or at least it shouldn't be, because yeah, it's part of our social life. Oh, it's not. It can't be a barrier to make some friends or have engaged with someone in a romantic way, for example. But yeah, it's more when and the kind of involvement that you have with the other person. And that's it.
I agree. And like you said, what about the environment? Like if I'm in a party, if I'm single, if I show some interest, that's important, because sometimes I'm in the party, I'm single, but I'm not showing any interest. And maybe I think it's more interesting when a man talk to me first and then compliment me. Like ask something else, see if I want to talk to them, and then you can compliment. If I like it, I say, okay, go ahead. If I don't, I will say no, and you stop. And I say, no, just stop, please. Don't insist. If you want to be insistent, it is harassment. I think when you insist, it is harassment. It depends on the environment. It depends of how open the other person or the people are to receive these compliments. Charles, what about you?
I will follow the EPA completely. In addiction, I think it's a timeline, right? And I will use some words. However, maybe we need to be a good sense all the time and to be respectful. I think it's more important word nowadays, it's respect. And I think when you use respect, you can feel free for do, but all the time we need to be respectful with each other in our context, right? In our context. And I guess today's word we lack respect. That's it.
That's
I
the
need
word.
to write down this because it's too much complex for me.
It is complex because it for me it's complex, but it's not conflictive, I think. Like I know what I think, but it's complex to uh, explain. Mateus, what about you?
I agree with all of you guys. I think I have no time to talk too much, but um, I think when the compliment turns to a harassment, when you left to be a compliment and you offend someone, the people you can see when when the persons feel more contracted, they avoid using a lot of words, and you still come and say it about this. So I think it's it.
Yeah. Hi guys. How was the conversation here? It was like complicated somehow, but it was really, really, really nice at the same time. Mariana, tell me, how was the topic? How was the conversation?
Yeah, it's really hard. It's complicated. It's important to talk about it, but it's hard too. We start saying that me and Bruna said it too, that we feel very uncomfortable watching the video, and we have experienced something like this in our lives almost every day, so it's complicated. But yeah, it's important to talk about it.
Yeah, here in the main room, we talked about a lot of about we talk a lot about moral harassment as well, because there was me and four men. So it's less sexual harassment, happen less with men. We know why. And yeah, so we talked a lot about moral harassment, and this the same, like it's traumatizing, it is horrible. You send the feedback, don't forget to answer, leave a comment. And Rogério, I want to know from you, is everything harassment nowadays? The number 7, question number 7.
Yeah, it's hard to answer this question because some people can feel that they are harassed all the time, you know. Some people used to, for example, used to wear a short clothes, you know, showing their belly, showing their body. And well, I think we need to be mindful about that, you know, especially in environment, in work environment. You need to avoid to wear this kind of clothes to call attention, you know. I think it's because this kind of things can happen all the time on the street, on jobs, and yeah, everything nowadays is become a kind of harassment, you know. And I think we need to be mindful because we don't know if your other person will tell you, will think about you are wearing this kind of clothes because you like it, or you want to show your body, you know. We need to be mindful, and we need to avoid to create problems. And yeah, I think it's a good way.
So you think, like, if you go to the beach, everybody's wearing bikinis and the how can I say, sport bras and this kind of things, like beach wear.
Ah,
You think you have the permission to harass them?
no, no, not at all. No way.
So if you're
Not at all.
showing your body, you are giving permission to be harassed?
No.
Okay.
But we need to avoid in certain of kind of place, you know. For example, in your jobs, you know, you need to avoid this kind of thing
Yeah,
because
I understand what you said. Like,
Mhm,
go is inappropriated,
exactly,
let's
exactly.
say. But when someone is having some behavior or inappropriate attitude that's in a certain space, for me, the right thing to do is like say to the person, say to her, like, or to him, that's wrong, you should not do it, but not harass them. So I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. So don't forget the feedback. It was a hard topic sometimes. It is hard to hear some things, but we have to deal with this. As women, we are kind of used to. We shouldn't, but we are. So thank you very much today for this. William, Mateus, Nondas, and Charles. We really, and everyone, but here in the main room was a really good conversation. We guys were really respectful. I really enjoyed the conversation with you.
Me too.
Yeah, thank you guys. Don't forget the feedback.